Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. I'm going to demonstrate how to make this little shabby chic heart, and I put it on a little stick because I wanted to place it in a flower arrangement. I am using burlap fabric, some trim, leftover lace trim I had, and these little artificial flowers. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to show you how to make a heart. My heart is about 6 inches across. I actually wound up cutting out my heart a little bit bigger, but make one at least 6 inches. You can make it any size you want. So to make a heart, get a piece of paper that's a little bit larger than the size of the heart that you want. So that's what I've done. And then fold it in half, and you're only going to draw half of a heart. So I'm going to place this on here so you can see what I mean. So I'm basically going to draw this shape. So I'm going to come down here maybe an inch and start, and then I'm going to kind of go up towards the top of the paper, across, down towards the side, stay down the side a little bit, and then go down towards the point at the corner. Now, if your lines are a little too wavy for you, you can erase and then fix it to your liking. Once you have it to the way you like, leave your paper folded and then cut it out in half, and then you'll have a full heart when you're done. As I said, I'm using burlap fabric. Now, my Walmart sells burlap. Probably Hobby Lobby will have it, and maybe some other fabric stores. You can always buy it off the internet, but if you can't find any burlap and you really don't want to use it, then use any fabric of your choice. When you are cutting it out, I want you to notice something. I cut this one with straight edge scissors because I wanted you to see what happens. When you use straight edge scissors, you'll get long pieces of this burlap unraveling. When you use pinking shears, that's these right here, they have jagged edges, you will have very little of this occurring. So after you got your heart out, you cut it out. I actually said I cut mine a little larger. All I did was set something down. You can trace around it on the burlap and then cut it out. I would cut just on the inside of your trace line because you don't want that line to show through on your fabric. Then after you've got it cut out, leave the two pieces together. Cut both out at the same time. And if you'll notice, I used white thread. I was hoping it would show up. So I'm going to hold this up a little bit. I did not stitch down here at the bottom. I left that open because I'm going to be inserting some stuffing in a little bit. So take this edge of your fabric and place it on one of the lines on your throat plate. I chose the 1/2 inch line because I wanted a 1/2 inch wide area that was sticking out past my stitches, and start up to where you have about 2 inches of opening down here. So as you're stitching, keep your eye on this edge of your fabric, making sure that it's on that line on your throat plate, and you just keep turning your fabric slowly. Don't look at the needle, just look at the edge of your fabric. And you're going to go all the way around, and again, leave an opening here. Next is to take some polyfill stuffing, and you don't need a lot. And you're just going to take it and insert it up in this area right here. Don't overfill because it just won't look right. You want just enough in there so that it looks a little puffy. So after your stuffing is inside, You want to take whatever stick you want to use. It's your choice. You can buy little skinny dowels at craft stores and you can cut them to any length that you want. My Walmart has them. Or you can use a little chopstick, anything that you want. So after your stuffing is in there, then just insert this in a little vase. Take your hot glue gun, put some glue inside there, and then close this up. Now I'm going to add some leftover lace trim that I had. You can use any trim that you want, anything that you want to put on it. And I want to just put it at an angle. So I used scissors to cut out so that it fit at those angles right across there. Then I'm using a hot glue gun. You can use needle and thread and just do a light basting stitch across there. I like using the glue gun. So when you are going to put it on, if you're going to use your glue gun, just put little dabs of glue, lay it down, and then finish off gluing the other half. Next step is you want to cover your stitch line with something. So you can use anything you want. This is the trim I used on my sample, and I bought it at Walmart in their craft section where they have all their ribbons and trims and other stuff. You can also use this neutral shade of cording, or you can buy white cording. And they sold this, they used to sell it at my Walmart. I haven't seen it lately, but you can also get it online, and it's made by Dritz. So I'm going to show you on this one. Now, right now I have some tape on the end because the ends unravel. So when you cut your cording, you want to make sure you have your glue gun ready to put a little bit of glue at the end so that it won't unravel. Put your cording down over the stitch line and follow it all the way around. Now, whatever cording or trim you are using, make sure it bends easily. If it doesn't bend, don't use it. So you want to select something that bends. The last thing that I did was I used these little paper glittered, maybe they're felt or foam hearts. I glued it up there. Put a purple flower on top. I bought these at Walmart in the craft section. Then I selected little these pink rosebuds, also from Walmart, and I just glued some across there. And this is what it looks like in a bouquet of flowers. In this demonstration or project, I took a little vase that had a neck on it, covered it with fabric. So here's what it looks like on the back. And it's very simple to make. Added a little bow, and you can put real flowers in it or artificial flowers. Okay, let's get started. So this is the kind of vase I'm using. I got this at Dollar Tree. My Walmart in the craft section had some that were similar to this. So you want one that has somewhat of a neck on it. So take a tape measure and measure from the top all the way down, underneath, and back up to the other side. Now cut a square out that's a little bit larger than that size. So mine was 14 inches. I've cut mine slightly bigger than 15 inches. And you're going to take right sides together, the pretty sides, and fold it in half, and then fold it in half again. And for this next step, you're going to need a ruler. And that number that I got, remember my vase was 14 inches all the way around. So that's the diameter of my circle. Divide that number in half, and which is 7. So put the 7-inch line on your ruler on this corner where all the folded edges are. Make sure your fabric is folded really well. Okay, don't have any lumps or bumps in it, because then your circle's going to look really funny. So the 7 inches is in that corner. Then you're going to mark on your fabric at the end of your ruler. And keeping the 7-inch mark on there, draw another line. And you keep going all the way around doing that till you get to the other side. Then place pins to hold your fabric together. Place more than one, just place them all around. And then cut right on top of that line. So when you unfold it, you have a circle. Now this is right side, the pretty side. Turn it over to the wrong side of the fabric. Looking at the neck on your bottle, you want to measure how high that neck is from here to there. Mine's about 1.5 inches. So what I'm going to do is put the 1.5 inch line on my ruler on the edge of the fabric. And I'm going to draw a line. And I'm going to go all the way around the circle, drawing a line 1.5 inches away. To cover the raw edges, I'm using bias tape, and I'm using extra wide double fold bias tape, and it's about 1/2 inches wide after it's all folded. So here's the bias tape as it comes off the package. I want you to look real close to this bias tape. It's folded several times, and the last fold, one edge is folded over slightly shorter than the other edge. Sometimes you get a package where it's not folded off like that. You want it like that. You want one edge a little shorter than the other. Which is ever the shortest edge, you're going to put that on the right side of your fabric, the prettiest side. So when you first start, you've got it wrapped around there. Don't start right at the end. Come in a few inches and begin stitching. So drop your needle down and then do a couple of little stitches in place. So you're going to wrap the bias tape around just a little bit and then stitch a little bit right on the edge. Then wrap it around a little bit more and stitch. And go slowly around the curve. When you get to the end, you're going to, don't stitch all the way to the end. Leave some space. Overlap the two ends of the bias tape and overlap this by about 1/4 inch, and then cut whatever excess off that you need to. Then take the bias tape, turn it upside down with it completely unfolded. Then take your other side, fold this over, taking the other side, open it up all the way, place some pins to hold, and stitch a 1/4 inch wide seam. When you're done with that, fold it back over the edge and finish stitching it down. For this next step, take some thread, preferably matching, either a polyester thread, don't use a cotton thread, or this carpet thread. It's very, very strong, and you want a very long piece because you're going to put it on your needle, double the thread at the end, and tie a knot in it. And just do a basting stitch all the way around. So when you come around to where you started, make sure you have your knot on the outside, the right side of the fabric. When you begin to gather it up, take both ends, the knot and the needle end, and tighten it up real tight over your bottle. As you're tying it in a knot, I recommend you do a surgeon's knot. So you loop it around once and then twice. So you do it 2 times and then pull it real tight. And then I recommend you do the surgeon's knot one more time. You can use whatever type of embellishment you want on it, but if you're not good at making bows, here's a really simple bow to make. Using a hot glue gun, just take it and cross it over like this, and put some glue underneath there and push it down. Then take the other end and do the same thing and glue it down. Then you can either put a button in here, or I use these little paper, I think they're made out of thin foam, glittery hearts, and put it on there. Or you can put a little flower, whatever you like. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you try making some of these items. If you're interested in other sewing projects and craft projects that you can do, check below your YouTube screen in the description section. Scroll down when you see the word more, click on it, and that section will expand open and you'll see all kinds of links appearing. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and make sure you check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.